Ooh, welcome everyone. Let me know how it looks and how it sounds, because it's all different again. My name, wait and see if they do this right. No, shift in? Nah, doesn't want to work. My name is Anthony Barocas, and I am here. I am the chief gearhead here at StreamTek. I'm looking for where I can add my names, and it's not there. And I wanted to welcome all of you to today's show. As you can see, this is not the normal studio. I am on location. Don't blink at me. Don't blink at me. OBSBOT camera is blinking at me. And today we've got a special show where I am going to be talking about the OBSBOT software and all of the beauty things you can do in the OBSBOT software. If I move over here, you can see it's tracking me. If I move over here, you can see it's tracking me. So special thank you to OBSBOT for providing the camera. Other than that, there's no connection between me and OBSBOT today. There's no remuneration for this video. There's no nothing. But the software is something that's easy to transport through the web. Also, just a reminder that today's show is being produced on a Restream. And if you are interested in trying out Restream, this is what I'm using to produce today's show on, including the pre-show countdown, the music, the graphics, this little cool animated graphic here. I'm bringing in the comments from all the different destinations. Twitch, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook are all coming in via Restream. So this is all in Restream Studio. It's a cloud studio. Right now, I'm averaging 54% in the CPU and 28% in the GPU, but that will change. Don't blink at me, damn OBSBOT camera. If you wanted to check it out, you can type in bit.ly/st-restream or scan the little QR code right here, and that will take you to a sign-up page for Restream. There is a free account. You can try all the stuff out for free. You can try the studio out for free. You'll get a little watermark in the corner somewhere. And if you decide, hey, this is actually pretty cool, this could be useful, then you could sign up for a plan. So that's just there. I'm putting it out there. Restream is not paying for sponsorship. But if you do decide to sign up, I get a little piece. So just being honest and being forthright with that. Also, as always, I wonder if this will cancel the other. Yes, it will. I love to say welcome everyone, wherever you are around the world. Let me know where you're watching from today, because I'm in Germany today. And thank you to Restream for making this work easily, because I had a visit earlier today and rolled in 30 minutes before show. And here we are. And lastly, as always, what streaming questions might you have? They do not have to be limited. They are not limited to the topic at hand for today's show, so they don't have to be about OBSBOT beauty controls. But if you have any beauty and makeup questions, I'm probably the worst person to ask. So feel free to throw those in. Good to see the kids' productions over there in Pico Riviera, California. Welcome to the show. And Mike Sabadini in LaSalle, Illinois. And actually, let's go right to this one. And Kirk Riley in Dallas, Texas. Thank you all for being there. Quick question came in. Do you have a video on wireless communication devices like the Hollyland SolidComm SE? I do. I don't think it's been converted into a video yet. So check the live shows. So there is a if you type in Hollyland in the search on the YouTube channel, it'll come up with the Hollyland. I have not done one on EarTech. I do not believe I did one on EarTech. I have both the SolidComm SE and the EarTech, and they're comparable. I had the SolidComm are 2.4 gig, and the EarTech, the ones that I have, are 1.9 gigahertz DECT, cordless phone based. And, that's basically the key technologies. You're either on 2.4 gigahertz and you have the ability to kind of do whatever you want, or you're using DECT technology, which is a lower frequency, sort of free of other things that are on 2.4 gigahertz. So if you are planning on also doing OBSBOT tail airs or Mevo starts or anything on 2.4 gigahertz, 2.4 gigahertz microphones and 2.4 gigahertz wireless video transmitters and different things like that, then maybe going to the 1.9 gigahertz for comms might be a great idea. If you know your 2.4 gigs, Wi-Fi frequencies, because that's where they are. That's unlicensed spectrum, so it's easy to build something there. If you know that your 2.4 gigahertz spectrum is really open and there's not a lot of interference, then putting your comms on those frequencies can be a very good solution for you. They're both out there. They're both the EarTech solution has been out there for almost a decade now. Very reliable. I have used them in 2 studios, bought them for myself, recommended them for others, and everybody says they're just good at what they do. And the SolidComm is basically a very good reproduction of the EarTechs, but in the 2.4 gig spectrum. And there's a couple other tweaks like USB-C charging in the headset and other additional tweaks as well that give them, they're a little bit more feature rich at this point. One of the things I would love to see, but I don't think any of these headsets do, is I would love to see comms and monitoring headphones in one, with the ability to put comms in my left ear and program in my right ear or switch it or do whatever, because often I find myself wearing 2 sets of headphones. Yes, one set of headphones for listening, like a Sony headphone for listening, and then the EarTech headphones for talking to crew. So as a producer, director, things, I end up finding myself having to do both, and that can get kind of crazy. So I would love to see one of these companies endeavor to do that. But I don't think either do. Kirk Riley is in Dallas, Texas, and he says, "Guten Abend." Yes, Guten Abend. I actually just had lunch with a family friend and had some very good schnitzel. Delicious schnitzel, as a matter of fact. It was so good. But thank you all for being here. And like I says, today is going to be about the OBSBOT beauty controls. And I didn't preset this show yesterday, so let me, is this down here? Okay, we're just going to come down to this scene, and I am going to share the screen. OBSBOT Center. Oh no, what I want to do is I want to let me break out the beauty controls into its own window so that I can share these. I did this yesterday in preparation, and not now. I have to get it to, there we go. Where is it? Beauty. There we go. Allow. So here we go. Boom, boom, boom. And then I select this cool view. And then in this one, I can customize it and move the ratio over, which makes this a lot more usable. See how that works? So, or I can even swap them and maybe move it over there. There we go. So this way, again, I'm doing all this in Restream. Different multi-views, different sides, all this different thing. I'm doing this, and I'm sharing over here. You can see my mouse. So this is the beauty. It says at the very top. Actually, you know what? I'll draw up the bottom. Keep going, keep going. There. These are the beauty controls over here, as you can see up top. And these are part of the new OBSBOT Center that I covered a little bit ago. And I covered a lot of the other features of the center, but I did not delve into beauty controls. I kind of said, well, we'll cover that another time. This is that other time. So if you have people who are appearing on camera, like me, that don't use makeup, or people who do use makeup and want to augment things, the beauty controls can do a lot. I am going to drag this window bigger because you don't need to see my big mug over there. So if I drag this bigger, what it does is it smooshes everything up, and I can focus on the stuff on the bottom a little bit more. So as you can see right here, one of the key things is it's got your background control. I can blur the background. Ooh, see, just like that, blurred background. Now my GPU increases slightly, my CPU increases a lot, And then you could, crazily enough, you could increase the blur level to something insane. This is almost NSA level, blur back here. But one of the key things you'll notice is it's not so much like it's doing a little bit on, it's got one hand, but not the other. You find a lot with the built-in blur on Zoom and Teams is not very good when you put your hand out and you want to gesture with your hands a lot. I find the one that's built into the OBSBOT Center works a little bit better. And down here, as you can see, it's got a background replacement if you've got a green screen or whatever. If you've got green screen, then they all work well. I have a green screen. I have a pop-up green screen I can put on the back of the chair. And I'll probably use that for my show tomorrow, which is for Bird Dog. So I have a show tomorrow for Bird Dog. So be sure to tune in for that. That'll be, it's actually not going to be on US time. It's going to be on EU, Asia, and Pacific's time for everybody over there to get a chance to watch them live. Over here on the blur effect, there's an advanced. I click on advanced and I lose the blur effect and nothing else pops up anywhere on the screen. So I have no idea what the advanced is supposed to do. This is kind of an oddball. Like if I go native, ooh, look, it blurs. And if I go to advanced, I would expect more controls would pop up, but they don't. And so we're just going to turn this off at the moment. And we're going to go right over to this retouch area. There are other filters, like you could do fresh, clear, blah, 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 on the whole scene. I'm not going to be talking about that. And there's more. Eye tracking. I tried this. It didn't work. I can turn this on. Oh, actually, it's working now. Look at that. So I'm looking down. Oh, there it goes. It lost me. I'm looking down at the Restream, and it makes it look like I'm looking right at the camera. See, you see it loses it, and then it comes back. I haven't changed where I'm looking, but somehow, I don't know, it doesn't seem to always track accurately, and it loses it like there. I'm looking down, and now it looks like I'm looking at the camera. So you can see this kind of works. A little bit. My GPU has increased to 60%. If I turn this off, and it recommends a minimum of a 2060 GPU, an NVIDIA 2060 GPU, because it's really just using NVIDIA's, and I mentioned this in the other video, it's just using NVIDIA's eye tracking and incorporating it into here. Now my GPU is at 20%, 60%. So for an older GPU, that's a huge chunk of thinking just to reposition and redraw the eyes in real time. And whether that's worth it to you, if you're going to use the prompter that's built into the OBSBOT Center, then I would absolutely use the tracking, because then your people don't see the eyes moving back and forth. They see the eyes looking at the camera. That would be great. For most normal things, I think people understand you're going to be looking somewhere else a little bit, and people kind of accept that at this point in time. So it's not as bad. But if you wanted to have somebody, I'm talking to you today about this and this and this, and you want them to really be looking at the camera, even though they're looking at the text, the eye tracking would be a good idea, just so long as it doesn't keep losing track of the eyes. Hey, the world needs more beauty. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you all for being here. And again, anybody who pops in late, feel free to jump in and tell me where everybody's watching from today. And if you have a question that's not related to the OBSBOT streaming or the OBSBOT beauty controls, which is what we're talking about today, feel free to throw it into the questions. If you actually have beauty and makeup questions, I'm the wrong person to ask. So that's the filters. I said, ooh, look, fresh. Wow, clear, pure. Honestly, I don't see these useful at all. So we did the background, we did the filters, we did the more, which is basically just eye tracking at this point. But I guess this is a place where they can just put other stuff as they edit. So let's get into the retouching. Who wants to see me wear makeup? Anybody? Nobody? Nobody's responding. Nobody wants to see me wear makeup. Oh, well. Let's go into, you got the native. So over here, we can add makeup. You have your basic controls, face controls, body controls, and makeup. Now, that sounds like a lot of controls because under each one of these tabs is a bunch of controls. And you've got 4 tabs and a bunch of controls. That could get kind of complex. But wait, there's more. Because if you go to face, there's the face, the eyes, the eyebrows, the nose, the mouth. I mean, you get really, really, really intense here. So let's start playing around with this. So basic, tone, smooth, clarify, and slim. If I wanted to slim, look at that. Ooh, ooh. You see my neck? I slim it. Oh, look at, oh, goodness gracious. My head has gotten very big and my mouth has gotten very small. So we're going to put that back. Clarify. Okay, that just adds a little bit of vibrance. So they just call it vibrance. Smooth. I guess it's smoothing. Oh, wait, let's see if I can drag it this time. Oh, wow. Okay. Smooth. To make this work a little bit better, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in a little bit more on the face. So if I go to medium, narrow. Okay, let's just do that because I'm really talking about the face. I'm not standing up and walking around, so the body controls over here are not really going to apply. And I can, in this multi-view now, I can probably give that a little bit more space. So I'm not going to really be talking about the body controls, you know, because if you go into the body slimming, leggy, legs, waist, shoulder, head. I'm not going to be talking about these because I'm not walking around. And most people who are presenting to webcams are not really walking around. So I'm going to be talking about the face. So one of the first things I don't want to do is go back to basic. Let's turn the smoothing off. Oh my goodness, that was creepy. Tone, I guess that just adds a little bit more contrast to it. Okay, let's just, actually it's not so bad. And next we'll go over to the face. So the face, we can narrow the face. Ooh, look at that. I pulled my ears in a little bit. Did you like that? Ears in, ears out. Length of my face. Not so long. Oh, wow. I don't know what happened to, I took out part of my face somehow and back to normal. Now my whole face moves like it's supposed to. V shape gives me a pointier jaw. Hairline. Uh-oh. I don't know. Seems to pull it back a little bit. I think most people today would want more hair instead of less hair. Cheekbones. Uh-oh. Not much. And again, I'm doing this to a male face. I'm not doing this to a female face. So the results will be different depending upon the features that the system is detecting and modifying. Chin. See, it's 50 one way. Oh, look at that. I can extend my chin or I can shorten my chin. Interesting. We'll put it right there back there. Zero. Firm. Firm. I don't see much difference in firm. You let me know what you see. I don't see much difference in firm. And nasolabial. Nasolabial. Wow. They're using medical terms. I don't see it doing anything with my nose. Do you? Oh, it's doing something weird with my eyes. Okay, turn that off. Chin, it's okay. So that's my face. Then you could just mess around just with the eyes. Do you like the eyes? Do you want them bigger? Smaller? Do you want to brighten the eyes? Let's see. So you can have, it'll whiten just the whites of the eyes or leave it natural. The distance, closer, wider. I mean, you could literally see that. Do that during a show. Have somebody just do that during the show while people are talking, have the eyes be moving back and forth. That would be kind of freaky. Corner. Oh, look, it tilts them down in the middle. So now they're more level versus angled. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's minus 50. So if I put that back in the 0, hopefully that's more like I naturally am. Dark circles. I don't see any difference in dark circles. Now, the interesting thing is you can see that it's cutting off certain parts of these words. And this is the app. The app can make this window as wide as it wants to be, and the app can put this on 2 lines, but the app is not doing either of those things. And this is a standard Windows install. It may look different on iOS. It may look different on Mac OS and properly render itself. But on Windows 10, this is what it's looking like today. Eyebrows. Do you want to change the angle of your eyebrows? You can change it one way, change it oh, wow. Now I look like Spock. Captain, there's something wrong with the crew. The distance of your eyebrows, wider or closer. And it's weird that it's able to differentiate eyes versus eyebrows. So you can take your eyebrows and smush them in and take your eyes and move them out. The height of your eyebrows, a little higher, a little lower. The length of your eyebrows is just stretching at that point. The width of your eyebrows, the thickness, it should say. Look like they got a little thicker. Ready, set. Yeah, the thickness of your eyebrows and the shape. Up in the middle, down in the middle. And it's doing all this in real time. And my GPU, as I thumb through all of these things, is running along at 30%. So these are all CPU intensive, whereas the repositioning of the eyes, because it's an NVIDIA thing, that was running all on the GPU. Something to consider if you're using a cloud solution, a cloud production tool like I am for this, is how much you want to push the CPU versus pushes the GPU, depending upon how much machine you've got in your hand. The nose. What about the nose? More narrow, wider. Allah. I don't know what Allah means. Oh, wow. Really pointy. You can have Michael Jackson's nose towards the end. Or you can have a very wide nose. That's minus 50. That's wider. Wow, that is that is much wider than my normal nose, which is right there. Position. Down a little bit or up. Down or up. And the bridge of the nose. Wider or more narrow. And the root. Okay, that's really the bridge of the nose. It's just moving right here, which is what, we typically call the bridge of the nose right there. Put that back in the middle, and then the mouth. What about the mouth? More narrow, more pursed, a little bit wider. It's weird to see your own mouth be changed and doesn't look like what it is. So whitening your teeth. Wider, darker. Wider. Hey, you do this, you actually don't have to go get those white strips and things like that. You can just let software do it. And plumping the lips. Now, this didn't work very well when I tested it. Yeah, so you can see it doesn't do a whole lot right there. And that's moving different parts of your face around. If you want to slim this and widen the eyes or purse the eyes or shorten the nose or fatten the nose or whatever. If you want to kind of look like somebody else, that's how you would do it. But then there's the wonderful makeup controls. You want to add eyeshadow? Let's do this. There we go. I got some eyeshadow. Smoky. You do smoky. Oh, you get different levels for each one. Smoky. Ooh, I look like JD Vance. You know what? JD Vance also does eyeliner. So there we go. Wait, turn this up. No, not cat eyes. Energy, cat eyes. Oh, you got to turn them all up manually. Okay, this is off screen, so you can't see it, and I can't. Oh, wait, yes, I can. There we go. Eyeliner, you can see, or soft, and turn this up all the way. So this is soft, cat eyes, energy. I guess energy is just without the little thing at the end. And smoky, grapefruit. I got to turn this up. So that's colors. Earth tone, brown. Let's go with smoky. Yeah. Now, eyelashes. Do I need some eyelashes? Yeah. Elf. There's an elf mode. Is that good enough for you? Contacts. Ooh, I can change my eye color. Check that out. So that is topaz, and then this is crescent. Let's see if I can somehow scoot this into what you're looking at. As you can see down the bottom, let's see if I can get it up a little bit more. So here we go. Hawk's bill, turn it up. So if I go between hawk's bill, topaz, and crescent, oh, topaz matches my sweater. Having too much fun. What else should I do? Tell me. Makeup, eye makeup, eyebrows, standard eyebrows, or let's do soft eyebrows. There we go. And then facial. Oh, here we go. Lipstick. Should I do some lipstick? Pinkish? I don't know why it's pinkish. There we go. Cinnabar. Let's crank this up. Cinnabar. And some blush. Of course, we need blush. Maybe vitality. And then we add some vitality. And lastly, down the bottom, I'll have to scoot this up a little bit and scroll down so you can see it's called contour. And fancy 3D. Oh, I see. It's highlighting the face. Natural. Let's crank that up. There we go. I am not quite the man you thought I was. So that within makeup, there's facial, eyebrows, and eye makeup. And then, of course, you can still mess with the face. You can still do those things with the eyes. You can increase the eye size. You can brighten the eyes, especially if you grab the cursor. You can increase the distance. Is that what I'm doing here? Increase? No, I'm going to go the other. Increase the distance. And then there we go. I bet you I don't look like I used to look just a moment ago. And then can we save that as custom? No, you'd have to start from scratch if you want to start from custom. But there we go, native. So this is with the makeup controls, and this is with no makeup controls. And you can see it's creating quite a different look in terms of being able to like, bam. Now, oh, that was interesting. It's jittering, you know. It's on my teeth. You know, your results may vary. Your mileage, your mileage may vary in terms of using the makeup controls and having them track perfectly. And I did mention this in the original video about the OBSBOT Center. it's kind of cool that they're there, but I don't know if it's something that I would really rely on in terms of making something. Like if your hand moves in front of your mouth, you're going to lose your lipstick. It destroys the whole point of using software to do it, is that you want it there. I turned it on. And then if all of a sudden it goes away, then you've created this perception among viewers that you're trying to fake them out with technology. And I think at this point, people don't like being faked out with technology. People want me to look like me. You know, I am not AI generated. I don't hold back my opinions on software that works or doesn't work. If something works, I really, really tell you that I love it. If something doesn't work, I tell you, I really wish this was better. And I tell you where and why I wish it was better. And I think that's why people, you know, come to this channel, is because they want honest reviews. They want honest answers, not AI generated, you know, copycat of the marketing materials in just regurgitated back to them. And they don't want makeup. It vanishes if I put my finger over top of it. It's just, why? Why? I don't know. Let's go back to me. And Wolfgang says, I hope you don't get used to the style. It's amazing what the software offers for cameras in this price range. Please do it again on International Women's Day. That was this week. Wasn't it like Monday? That was Monday. Let me get back to the wide shot, and the camera's going to recenter nicely. Thank you. And yeah, I don't have the channel. I just checked the other day. The channel does not have a very large female viewership. And I think that's because it's hosted by just another guy. Okay, you're freaking me out. Yeah, it's kind of freaking me out too. And, you know, I think that is because the choices that are available are not naturally the choices that a makeup artist would choose. Because if you go and you watch the evening news, men have makeup on. If you watch any of the political talk shows, men have makeup on. They have concealer on. They have, you know, hiding blemishes, just softening the skin for the lights, eliminating the shiny spot if they're bald or whatever. There's makeup for men. That's a fact and has been forever. So the key is that the goal for television is to create a presentable image, a nice polished image, not warts and all, to smooth out the imperfections, but not to create something that is glam. If you want that, you know, you want America's Next Top Model or something like that. And I think these controls are designed in such a way that they want to be perceived, to be noticed. That's why the levels go up as high as they do. It's not for adding a little bit of makeup to hide imperfections. It's makeup to be seen, which honestly, when, you know, women do wear bright red lipstick, it is to be seen, honestly, you know, and if people, you know, if women do the little cat's eye thing, that is to be seen because it's beyond natural. You're not doing something just to accent the eyes a little bit. You're doing something to, you know, go beyond. And, you know, as a guy, that's not typical for American men to do. Maybe men in other cultures that could be more acceptable or more natural, but American men don't typically wear makeup in general. May wear makeup if put in front of a camera, just so they have a more uniform look to their face, maybe to hide some of the lines a little bit or whatever this blemish is here, or stuff like that, to eliminate the bags under the eyes a little bit. But you know what? I am me. I'm just presenting you me as I am, and it's more about the technology. I'm not here to present a cool show about me. I'm here to present a cool show about the technology, about, you know, these controls over here, and, you know, what I can do with these controls if I want to. I wonder if the sync is even still in sync, if the audio is still in sync when I add these controls. And for this, I am using the microphone input that is coming in from the OBSBOT. So if it needs to delay the video a little bit to do these effects, it can also delay the audio. This is the OBSBOT Tiny 3 that I did a video on a week or two ago. And it's a nice little camera. I am really impressed. Like I said in the review, let me turn this off. Like I said in the review of the OBSBOT camera, the paperwork says Tiny Titan, and it really does punch above its weight in terms of how small it is. The microphones, the quality of the image that I'm getting from it is just really, really good. And I'm in a mixed lighting situation where it's got this, incandescent light, the daylight coming in from above. I got the lights in front of me for the studio. I've got a light over here on the desk, and it's handling all of these things very nicely. And if you haven't seen my video on the OBSBOT Tail 3, go check that out. It's a great little camera. And like I said, I'm just being forthright and honest. If I say I think a camera is worth it, is definitely, doing what it says it's going to do, does it well. And hey, this is a nice little piece of kit. The OBSBOT Tiny 3 is a nice little bit of kit. Now, as for the OBSBOT Beauty controls, not a nice bit of kit, a little freaky bit of kit. Now, yes, I do have everything cranked up to 100. I do have it cranked up to 100. So, and you probably wouldn't, makeup, you probably would not crank up the lipstick to 100. Is that better? I don't know. Off, on, barely there. So yeah, you can dial it in so it's not so obtuse, so powerful. Eye makeup. We can turn the smoky off. We can turn the eyelashes off. Oh my goodness, those are just turn those off completely. And I still have, I can see that it's like when I normally see my eyes blink, they look different than when I'm blinking with the makeup, with the face effects on, because right now it's enlarging my eyes and everything. So it looks a little weird when I see my own eyes blink with the slight delay, and I see there's, I don't know, some sort of weird effect, like there's less frames of me blinking. It's not as smooth because it's taking time to do this effect on the eyes. Whereas when I turn it off and I blink, it feels like it's smoother to me. You let me know, because maybe it's just the monitor effect. In order to do this, you go into the OBSBOT Center, you turn on the virtual camera so that all the processing happens in the OBSBOT Center. And then in Restream Studio, I am bringing in the virtual camera that has been processed through OBSBOT Center. I wonder if I can do another share. Sure, I'm sure my device can handle it. I'm going to try to add a second screen share. OBSBOT main. Allow. Oh, that's not good. Let's do this. Okay, so over here on the left is the OBSBOT main control, and it offers, it's too tall for the window. It offers some image controls and everything, as well as the corrected white balance. So I always find the OBSBOT cameras a little warm, so I was able to like push it away from warm there. So it's auto with corrections. I've got the anti-flicker. It's exposing for the face with auto compensation to come down 0.7. I could increase. I could let it expose for where it wants to be, right there, which I feel is a little too bright. And it feels a little washed out. That's why I have it down a little bit. The OBSBOT center up here, this is the beauty controls on or off, and this is the virtual camera. So the virtual camera is on and the beauty controls are on. And as, oh, I have an update. Up here, this will device 1 update. So yeah, there's an update for the camera. This will actually handle 4 cameras. And that is really slick in that you can do all of this processing for 4 cameras and then go into each camera over here and start turning on your beauty controls and your big eyes and your tiny nose and thin chin and things like that. Let's go back to the nose. Where's the nose? Where's the nose? Face, nose. There we go. So we can really thin my nose and everything, and take my mouth and make my mouth really small, and just, you can do all that for multiple cameras at the same time over here, and then feed those out. So it's a very capable center. It used to be OBSBOT webcam, but now it's OBSBOT center, because literally you can also use this to switch between multiple cameras that are going into the virtual camera, which is going into Restream Studio or going into Zoom or Teams or anything like that. So you can almost do your multi-camera switch right over here. The reversed on, can I do this here? Can I reverse them here? Oh yes, good. Now they're on the same size as they are on my screen. So over here, now that I'm looking, see, I'm looking in the right direction. Handling 4 cameras into the switched output. And it also does ISO recording, which is, I mean, it is definitely the OBSBOT center now, as opposed to just like handling 1 webcam. Very, very cool technology. Turn this off over here. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Turn it off over here. And the beauty controls pop out in a separate window. So you have multiple windows. Or when I have the virtual view of the camera in front of me, I can actually collect the beauty controls over here into that window. So excuse me. So I have the virtual view for me and the beauty controls right there in the same window, but it's still separate from all of these controls, which are for multiple cameras, and then all the different capabilities for those cameras, including more. So if I come over here and click on more, as opposed to this more over here, I've got that more over there. Initial state, which is where it points when it wakes up, device sleep, how often, what screen is going to send, target tracking. Like I said, I turn off all of these gesture controls. But as I was moving my finger around, it's blinking at me, meaning there's still some sort of control that it thinks it's recognizing, even though I've got all of these turned off. So I don't know. Then you got voice controls. You could tell it, hello, hi, sleep, track me, unlock me, zoom in, zoom out, zoom factor, position 1, 2, 3, da, da, da. And then there's the built-in microphone, which I was going to use. I have charged up right here, but I didn't use. I just used the built-in microphone. Let me know if the built-in microphone sounds good for a webcam. Maybe this could be something I do rather regularly. And then with the built-in microphone, which I covered in the other video more in depth, you can actually click the button and have it zoom in and click the button and have it zoom out, which is really handy, as opposed to doing this in the middle of your talk. Noise reduction, I've got noise reduction going on in the microphone right now. It's a weak noise reduction, and it's in audio mode mono. So it's combining it because it can handle 2 different microphones. Can you see that up here? Yeah, you can add 2 microphones up here, have 2 different people, and those can be passed through as left and right, which would not work if you're going directly to the studio. Or you can combine them to mono in the OBSBOT center, and then the OBSBOT center passes along a mono feed, which is both microphones in both channels, to the device, whatever device you're sending it to. And then switch, I don't know what switch to mode is. I tried to figure that out. Mirror image, so that when I point over here, I actually have that on. So when I point over here, that's the one that I'm looking at. If I turn that off, I'm reversed, and then I'm still pointing in the same direction, but now I'm pointing at the wrong thing. So mirror image helps me point where I have it set on the right, and I'm looking at it on the right. Status light is nice and bright. Virtual tracking, firmware updates. Apparently there's an update available. It wasn't yesterday when I tried this. And provide feedback. So this is a very handy tool. And again, if you are late to the show and are just tuning in, I am producing all of this in Restream Studio. And as part of that, I actually have, look at that. I can do 2 screen shares at the same time of 2 different things and an overlay with a cool animation. Wait for it. A cool animation. And if you wanted to try out Restream Studio yourself, you can go to bit.ly/Restream, st-Restream hyphen, or use your phone and point at the cool little QR code over there, and that'll take you to the sign up form. Restream does have a free studio account, so you can sign up for, for free. Try it out for free. It'll probably have a logo in the corner up there or down there. So because it's free, so they're going to brand themselves. And then if you want to get rid of that, you can sign up for an account. And I have actually been using Restream for several years. So it counts as one of the products that I actually do believe in, rely on weekly for my live shows, specifically to handle multicasting. I send one stream up and Restreams it to Twitch, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Facebook. Facebook on the StreamTek page, Facebook on my page. And it handles comments from all of those platforms coming back in so that I can see all of the comments in front of me. Like this one from Wolfgang says, I think it varies from country to country. Many countries, styling with AI is now normal. Today, it's a cultural issue. It is possible. And then also, the AI that they're using for more professional styling may be better, because it's sort of like if OBSBOT introduced sports tracking on a sports field, it's probably not going to work as well as the automatic tracking or on-field or in-field graphics that is being used by professional sports casting today, whether it be football, soccer, American football, basketball, or whatever. Those teams, they're using $100,000 systems, and the results you're going to get from that level of system is going to be very different than the level you're going to get from a free app that came with your $200 webcam. Carlos is liking it and asked me if I have any plans tonight. I do have plans tonight. As a matter of fact, I do. I will be having a nice dinner after this because it is 5:48 p.m. here in Germany. And that is where I am situated right now. But I do appreciate all of you for being here for today's show. If you had any other questions with regards to live streaming or cameras or webcams or audio, feel free to throw them in the comments, just because, hey, that's what I'm here for. And that's why I do these shows week after week, because you are here, I am here, we're both here together. And that means that you have the opportunity for basically reaching out and having a question answered to the best of my knowledge. I can only give you 20 years of live production experience versus AI could give you, whatever it can scrape off the web, correct or not, in 0.2 seconds, but it doesn't have any experience actually doing things. So again, I love doing these shows. Next week, I am traveling on Wednesday, so there will not be a show on Wednesday. I am traveling all day Wednesday, heading back to the States. So I will not be on the air next Wednesday, but will be the following week. I will be back on the following week, trying to work out a couple cool things. May have something with another new solution for multi-SIM, multi-WAN bonding. If that works out, we'll see if it does. And also trying to work with a company that is looking to replace Vimeo for video hosting. Because if you aren't in the know, and if you do have Vimeo, there's a company called Bending Spoons that purchased Vimeo, and I don't have the web pages all lined up to throw on the screen at the moment. Vimeo has been purchased by a company called Bending Spoons. Bending Spoons has purchased several other companies. And historically, what Bending Spoons does is lets go of most of the people, raises the price a little bit, and lets it go. So they make more money while spending a lot less, and thusly what they purchase now becomes profitable and they earn money off of it. They just did the same thing with Vimeo by letting go, I think, 70% of the staff. So if you were looking for new features, if you were looking for upgrades, if you had a trouble ticket, there might not be people there to work on it or fix it or update it anymore, which is a shame because I think Vimeo had a lot going for it. I think Vimeo was actually a really good tool. I have been on Vimeo for maybe 20 years, at least 15 years. And I had just tried out their studio. They have a cloud studio that offers a couple cool features that even Restream doesn't have. And there were bugs, there were problems that were escalated, but at this point, there's no hope in getting those bugs or those issues addressed because there's no engineering team there to fix them. And that's kind of a shame because Vimeo has been around a long time and had evolved to the point where it was a very mature product. And I would hope that Bending Spoons would bring back some of the engineering team and continue to develop and push it forward, as opposed to letting so many people go that were, clearly if we had trouble getting things done with all the staff there, it's not going to get done if all that staff was left go. It's just a fact of life. I'm not saying anything other than the obvious that has already been publicly made known in various news articles about the release of the staff. So, there's a new company that's trying to step into that, providing service, although their product is very new and it doesn't have all the depth and features that Vimeo has had for many years. But I hope to talk to them. I hope to bring them on the show and have a conversation about where they are, what they have, and where they want to take it. That's going to be the key thing. So hopefully that comes up in the future shows as well. And as always, if you are interested in these live shows, feel free to subscribe, hit the bell, because I actually found out 60% of the people that watch Restream, or 60% of people that watch StreamTek aren't subscribers. So subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell so that you're notified when live streams go live and when a new video is uploaded. And this way you can get the latest information about streaming technology. So with that, till next stream, I am basically going to say the same thing I say every time. Thanks for watching.